Welcome to the channel, fellas. You came to the right place. Today I'm going to talk about why relationships are getting harder to maintain in 2020. We have a lot of distractions going on nowadays with the COVID, with social media. And if you're a man and you got a woman or a wife, you're probably noticing a lot of different red flags, but you just ignoring them, trying to make it work. But really, those red flags and things you're noticing, you notice them for a reason. And you need to keep an eye on them and just keep them in your mind, okay? Now, the channel's called No One Cares, and really, that's a mindset thing. You want to make sure you got that mindset that no matter what happens, man, I'm gonna make my goals and my dreams come true. No one cares, bro. It's all on me. I'm not looking for handouts or whatever like that. And just always understand, man, when you out here, you going through tough shit, man, it's all about results. No one cares, bro, but just no one cares. That's the man upstairs, and he wants you to have that drive and that mentality, and he wants you to focus on your goals. So I'm T, and this is my channel, No One Cares, and it's for us. It's for us, man, to keep our goals and dreams and drives first. And these relationships are getting more difficult. Dealing with the female nowadays is the man's biggest distraction. Women are man's biggest distraction, and women are one of man's biggest downfalls. So if a man can master understanding female nature, if a man can master self-improvement, oh, that's a bad guy, right? That's a bad dude. He's on top of the game. He's focused. All right, so in this video, later in the video, I'm going to give you some strategies and some bonus points at the end of the video to where you can use some of this knowledge that you've learned from the video in your relationship. Now, if I don't see anything wrong with long-term relationships, because the game can still continue. With marriage, that's end game. But there is a couple of ways that you can maintain a marriage to where you're still in your masculine, she's in her feminine, and she's submissive. There are a couple of things you can do to maintain that, and I'll talk about that later in the video. But the first thing I want to talk about is the number one reason why relationships are difficult these days is social media. When you look at social media nowadays, you see a lot of women, they got a lot of issues. They got a lot of daddy issues now more than ever before, mainly because most people and women that are dating nowadays, they grew up in a broken household where daddy wasn't around. So what they're doing is they're posting selfies, lots of selfies, and wanting to get the likes. And so you have a lot of beta males, weak men, that are giving them the likes. And so what that does is that's giving women false information that they're at a higher sexual market value than what they really are. So you got women who are 5s and 6s getting likes, getting 100 plus likes. And what that's doing is making them think that they're 7s or 8s. And so when you get a woman that's that's delusional about her sexual market value, her being a 7 or 8 when really she's a 5 or 6, it gets harder for her to maintain a relationship because she gets in a relationship and she doesn't bring to the table what she should bring to the table. And a lot of the problem comes from beta males liking all the pictures. Weak males liking all their pictures, all up in their inboxes, saying, hey, baby, hey this, hey that, what's up, all this or that. And so that's making women, that's giving women so many options. And it's also giving women false information, thinking that they're better than what they really are. Secondly, the second thing about social media is, since women are emotionally led, they're constantly going through mood swings. So if you're in a relationship with a woman, 1 minute she's probably happy, 1 minute she's sad, 1 minute she's stressed, 1 minute she's not. That's because on the social media, at 1 minute, she's getting a lot of likes, and it's making her feel like she's beautiful and special. But then on the other hand, she's looking at other women that are in better shape, that look like they're in a better financial state, and that's making your woman more depressed. So you have women that get out here in relationships thinking that they're better than what they really are. And then secondly, once they see other women are happier, or thinking that other women are happier, they thinking that they can do better than you. And that's making you work a lot harder to keep her happy if you're a beta male. And so you'll never completely make her happy. Have you ever heard that quote that a woman's cup is never full? That's what you got with social media nowadays. It's really got, a woman's cup is never full. You're never going to completely make her happy. It's just very difficult, man. I mean, she's got too many distractions. The second thing that a woman has is peer pressure. And she has friends, and she's easily, she takes in what they do, watches what they do on social media, listen to what they say. She's going to always be constantly comparing her relationship to theirs. So peer pressure is just going, if her friends are having better relationships or in a happier situation, she's going to expect her relationship to do that. Then on the other hand, if her friends are going out here and having a good time, dating different men, going out to the clubs and stuff like that, and her friends talking about getting beat down and stuff like that, having good sex, and you not providing that, she's gonna want that too. You gotta remember that women are walking contradictions. They don't really know what they want. So you're gonna have a woman that's gonna want different things at different times, depending on how she's feeling at that time. All right. The next thing is job stress. In the relationships nowadays, you have people working long hours. And if you have kids, that's just going to make things a little bit more difficult, because after you get done working all those hours, now you got to come home and deal with the kids, and you're bringing that stress home. All right? So long work hours will contribute to having relationship issues. Next, you got low sex drives. These days, people are getting bigger and bigger, fatter and fatter. Women are getting fatter because they're sitting around watching all these TV shows and gossiping. And so men are also not working out like they should. And so when men get fat and stuff like that, they start losing testosterone and they start going into their feminine. Men are the kings of comfort. And that's one of the things I was talking about, is when men get in relationships, women are their biggest distraction. They stop focusing on their goals and their dreams and their drive, and they start wanting to be up under the woman. If you think about it, when you were single, you were probably on your goals and, going to work out, doing things like that. And then once you got into a relationship, you start slacking off. So men are the kings of comfort, and we tend to get comfortable once we get in relationships, all right? And that's another thing. When men go into their feminine, women go into their masculine. And when you have that type of situation where a woman's going into her masculine frame and you have a beta male, it doesn't feel right if you're a man. When your woman goes into that aspect when you're a man, the sex isn't good. The way she responds to your questions isn't good. Just the way she talks to you like you're nothing, like you're weak. So that's why you always want to make sure that you always show strength. Women only see strength. If you show weakness as a man, her attraction level drops, and it's just a matter of time before she starts monkey branching and starts to talk to somebody else. Next, in relationships, men need to understand that females decline. So they start having health issues. Alright? So men incline, they get smarter, they get wiser, they should be working out. If they're working out, they'll start to look better. Women be on the decline. So women start to get fatter and stuff like that. And so you have just the opposite sex going in two different directions. That's why relationships aren't lasting long anymore, man. Just the overall thing about it is you got two sexes going in different directions, and you have so many distractions from outside resources. The only way I think a relationship will work nowadays is if like a couple goes out to their own island and it's just them. Lastly, I want to give you some strategies and stuff that you can use to keep that attraction level high, to increase the longevity of your relationship. The first thing you gotta know to do is you want to make sure that you try not to cohabitate if you're not married. Don't cohabitate. Living, and especially don't live with a woman. That puts you in a beta situation. But if y'all live in the same place together, I wouldn't cohabitate. One thing about it when you live together is if the cops are called, you're at a disadvantage. You're gonna have to leave. That puts you at a disadvantage if the police are called, okay? If y'all live together. Next, what happens is, since women are emotionally led and are emotionally driven, you're around her too much. See, if you're only around her every now and then you'll only have to tame one attitude, one personality. But if you're around her all the time, you're going to have to tame all those different personalities. And that's going to wear you out. So start limiting your time with her and around her, and start focusing on other things that you can focus on. Alright? Limit that time around her. Next, pay attention to what she does. Don't listen to what she says. Women are master manipulators. They will try to tell you what you want to hear. They'll try to fool you. But one thing can't lie, their actions. If their actions don't add up to what they say, you gotta know you gotta let her ass go. So for my man, I want you to stay focused. Stay in your masculine frame. And stay focused on your drives and goals. And don't pedalize the woman. And just always keep in mind that no one cares, bro. It's all on you. But just know the man upstairs cares. And he wants you to man up and do what you're supposed to do to become the best version of yourself. I'm out.